Welcome back to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo on another Friday night from the basement here in Brooklyn. Very good to see you all on a Friday night. Love to see all the people already in the chat room. Pin Cushion, much love to you. Always getting in there with one of the first comments as well. Anders, longtime supporters of the channel. You too can be a supporter of the channel just by clicking the like, just by clicking the share, but even more so by clicking the join button and becoming a member of the Stoop crew. We totally love everybody who decides to join up with us monetarily, but also just being here every Friday night makes you a member of the Stoop crew. So very good to see y'all. Anders, Pincushion, BX Gunner, good to see you, my friend. John Lulfgarside, good to see you as well. Moss Sports World, love seeing you in the chat always. BX in the house, big up, Lolo. Yes, sir. Mo Master, I clicked everything. Yes, he did, because he got real excited that somebody might be joining his already stacked squad next season. Shh. We will talk about that later. Let's see. Sasky Gooner and Moss here. Yes, we got the both of y'all here. Very good to see y'all. What Scooby D2 saying saying hi to everybody. Yeah. You bought the pink jersey. Yes, of course I did. And I bought it when I was skinnier and quickly didn't fit me, but I'm working on it. I'm dropping some pounds in this new year, so it kind of fits me. I got some nipple action going on, but hey, I'll take it. I'm looking pretty in pink. I'll take it. All right. And hey, we had a decent season wearing these, okay? So let's get to it. Happy Friday, everybody. Oh, we got some Tony Newcastle in here. New year, new Lolo. Yes, sir. And a new squad, like I told you. I told y'all, Mikel Arteta is going to be seen as a genius by telling his team, listen, the end of the year's coming. It's the middle of the season, but it's the end of the year. Why don't we go ahead and tank and play as terrible as possible for these last couple of games, lose 2 London derbies to 2 shitty teams, and then we'll start 2024 by never losing again. And it's all going to plan so far. So I'll take it. I'll take it. Here's to you, Coach Mikel Arteta. We've got Super Mick Arteta. Happy Friday, everybody. Cheers to you all. The yellow Odegaard is too tight. Yeah, I've got a yellow Kieran Tierney that I cannot wear anymore. And having to put this one to bed as well, because that one, oh, it's a little tight. Maybe by the midsummer, I'll be able to wear some of these other kits, these older kits that I bought when I was a little bit smaller. But let's get to it. Today we've got lots to talk about on the show tonight. We are talking Premier League title race. What was looking like a 4-team race just a month or so ago, it went down to a 2-team race. And all of a sudden, with a 6-0 win over West Ham, following up the win against Liverpool, Arsenal are back in that conversation. And this is the big question that I'm going to ask the panel when they get out here is, are Arsenal actually in that conversation? Or is it really just Liverpool, Manchester City? So interesting. I can't wait to talk about it with everybody. I, of course, think that my club is in a title race. Does that mean they're going to actually win? I don't know. But if you look in the comment section right now, you will see that we have a survey going on. So get your votes in there. It looks like we got a good number of votes in there, and Arsenal have 0 of the votes. Wow, 78% for Manchester City right now. So get your votes in there. Let's see who you think actually has the best chance to win. And then we're talking Kylian Mbappe. He officially has said he is leaving PSG at the end of the season. Wow. We all knew that was going to happen anyway. We all know he's going to Real Madrid. We all know that. But all this weird speculation has been popping up, and I've even got a meme or a little graphic here that will show you some betting odds. And Arsenal are in a very interesting position on there. So we'll get to that. And lastly, the last thing we're going to cover tonight, or maybe the first thing we cover, depending on you guys in the comments section, but we will be talking about Leeds United. one of the only teams in all of football, one of like 3 teams, I think, that is undefeated in the new year or some crazy stat like that. But Leeds United are flying high, and I know they're going to hate that I'm saying this because they have a match in the morning. They much would have preferred to play tonight and had a nice, easy win. But Southampton keeping the pressure on, taking that number 2 spot. So very interesting stuff. Let's get to it. I'm going to bring on my lovely co-host. You know him. You love him. He's Spawny. He's Mark. Get in here, Mark. What's up?
What's going on, everybody? So cheers to On the Stoop. Cheers to everybody that it was forementioned by my good friend here. Good to see you all. Lots to talk about. I've been watching as much football as I can. My wife is beginning to hate me because I'm watching games outside of the Premiership. So I was watching, the Champions League. I watched the Southampton West Brom match earlier today, and I was happy to see them baggies go down. Some terrible officiating, but I'll leave that for the Leeds or anybody else that had seen that, because they're not using VAR, so it made it kind of fun. I don't know. How you been?
Good, man. Good. I'm on a little bit of a high from the performances of Arsenal. I got really excited this week watching some Champions League football, thinking, okay, Arsenal, time to the real end of the season is here, and it's a good time to be in the good form that we are in. A lot of seasons we hit this time of year and hit a skid. So like I said, it looks like we hopefully hit our skid earlier in the season, which is the sign of what Manchester City usually does. Is every single year we all get this false hope that they're going to keep sliding, and then they turn it on. I'm just happy to be like, yo, if we can continue this, we've got some winnable matches going on, coming ahead of us, but every single one we need to take. I've got some thoughts on why I think Arsenal are actually in a better spot than they were last year, even though our numbers would say last year.
I would agree. I would agree. I think that there's, we certainly have seen a change in the last couple of games. Obviously, you put up 6 against West Ham, and so that's kind of like you're resuming back to your scoring ways. But unlike last year, where you started off really, really hot and fast, you guys are a little more acclimated and trying new things out. But I got to tell you, I saw the Man City Copenhagen match, and a few words to strike fear in the heart of anyone else other than a City fan who thinks that they have a chance of winning the league. And those words are, De Bruyne is back.
He
had an amazing game. I know it's against Copenhagen, and they're like one of the lowest ranked of the remaining teams in the Champions League. But just in addition to what he's already been doing in the Premiership and in I think it's the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, or no, anyway, FA Cup, I believe. He's doing the presser at the end of the Copenhagen game, and he's like, yeah, I'm still trying to work my way back from injury, and I'm still trying to get my legs. And it's like, you had 1 goal and assist and were just dominating all over the pitch. What is it going to look like when you are in form?
Well, I think what he's secretly not saying with what he is saying is, we still need some time for my teammates to remember how fucking good I am, because they're not getting on the end of these passes that they don't see until it's like, oh shit, had I just run, he hit a curveball that winded between 4 players and ended up with, like, it would have been on the end of my foot for a tap in, but his guys aren't making those runs yet. Haaland isn't back on page with him. So it's not De Bruyne that needs to get back up to speed. It's Doku who needs to learn to play with him. It's Phil Foden who needs to remember him.
Foden remembers how to play. I think he's gotten 2 goals since De Bruyne has been back. That's a combination that is
And you
really,
got to shout there,
really
Mo
working
Master.
well.
Best Premier League midfielder ever. When I
I
first
don't
read
know
that and
about
it said
ever,
best
but
Premier midfielder,
yeah,
yeah,
I was thinking about that today. I was like, could he? And I'm like, you know what? I think that the torch is being passed in the last couple of years, and you could easily say he is the best in the world.
yeah.
He's certainly proven it since come back, and you know, we're saying that he's the best in the world when he hasn't really been healthy for the last couple of years.
Because he comes back in day one. Remember, he came off the bench and he scored a goal and had an assist, I think, his first day. And that was a
Yeah.
day where Doku was like, oh shit, I'm not ready for this. But talking about best in the world, 1 second, Mark, let me take a quick pause because you know who's the best in the world? John Lufgarside, our newest Stoop crew member. You want to be best in the world? Join up with the Stoop crew. Thank you very, very much. We got a lot of love for each other on this channel, and we really appreciate going that extra mile and actually clicking that button and getting, buying us a beer, or buying us half a beer, depending on we're in Brooklyn or Manhattan. But thank you so much. Really appreciate that new member of the crew. But Mark, let me ask you this. Kevin De Bruyne, what team in the world does he not walk into the starting 11?
No.
I feel like Real Madrid is a close one just because they're all right there. But imagine Bellingham right next to De Bruyne. Fucking not fair. I feel like any team in the world would bite their hand off to get Kevin De Bruyne at the middle of the pitch. Mr. Tom says it right there. KDB gets in anywhere. That's how you know he is the best midfielder playing today. The best midfielder playing today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which makes him one of the best all time. Sorry, but it's just true.
Yeah.
So going to best in the world, Mark, Kylian Mbappe deciding to leave. Let's not talk about Mbappe to Arsenal, Mbappe to Liverpool, Mbappe, blah, 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 blah. He's probably going to Real Madrid. But what would you think about Mbappe coming to the Premier League?
I have reservations about it only because he's so expensive. I mean, it's already been put out there that like it's going to cost. Well, no, he'd be going out on a free, right?
To Pumas. Yeah, he's going on a free, but it's wages.
He's going on a free, but his wages,
I think he's on like $500,000 a week.
No, I've read like 700.
Oh, really?
I've read 700. I'm not really sure where. But that's a hefty wage bill. That's more than twice what Saka makes. And I know that
Mark, he's at 1.3. He makes $1,384,615 per euros per week.
Yeah, that's the weekly wage bill for Wolves. The whole team.
Oh my God.
And I have done the math.
So, I mean, oh fuck. And then they broke it down into daily. Daily he's making $276,000 a day.
Could you imagine what he would make if the Saudis got a hold of him?
Okay, hold on. I'm getting a different one. That might actually be his net income from everything he does. But at PSG right now, yeah, he's making £888,000 a week.
That's just so much
nearly
money.
$1 million.
That's
nearly
3 times what Saka makes.
Even getting him for free, it's nuts. And then I've seen that PSG are already willing to spend the buyout clauses for Osimhen and Rafael Leao. So talking it's like 300 million euros on exit on release clauses alone.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, we're already ready to do that. Not to mention what it's going to cost to actually pay those guys.
And I think also there's the intangible on that is the kind of the distraction that a player of his magnitude brings if he comes to the Premier League. All eyes are on him. It becomes, kind of, I mean, I don't know if it was the same kind of media circus for when Lukaku came to Chelsea, and we all know how that ended up. But I can just imagine just how blinding that spotlight. So, for a team like Arsenal that is trying very, very hard to focus on, they have a focus, they have a goal, and to bring in someone like Mbappe, that goal might get kind of overshadowed, so to speak.
Yeah.
And not necessarily deliberately, but it would just be like just a distraction that you just wouldn't want.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. Let's invite some of the guys who are waiting backstage already. So first up, we got Tony Newcastle. What's going on, Tony? You're muted right now. I don't know if I did that. Yes, I did. There you go. What's going on,
I'm
Newcastle?
Here. It's nice to see you guys again. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute, as the kids like to say.
Well, good, man.
Was it a Villa win, a crazy Luton draw, and a wild Forest victory, and now let's see if Bournemouth Eddie pulls off any points against his old boys tomorrow, or today as it is now. So
right.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. Arsenal have you guys in a few weeks coming up.
Yes,
and it's
I
part
took
of
the day
this
off to
run that we have. It's part of this run that we have that everybody's Arsenal fans are like, look, if we could just win all of these. And I'm like, look, Newcastle's in there. Chelsea's in there. Like, these are teams that you never know. And I feel like you guys have been going through a major dip, but you're starting to level out and starting to get back up into a good into some good form. And I feel like you're going to hit us at the perfect time for you for a 1-1 draw or a cheeky 1-0 win against us
at the Emirates, though. Lolo,
at the Emirates. So we'll see. Hopefully our form continues on and we keep kicking ass. But very good to see you. We're gonna keep bringing people on, and we will get into the banter very soon. Mr. Tom, tie your shoe. What's going on, Tom?
Hello, everyone. Tony, Tom, I've not seen you for a long time.
Tom looked like I turned on his webcam. Like he was just sitting down to write out a Word document or something, and I just popped on his webcam, and he's like, "Oh,
that's
hello,
exactly what happened."
Show.
Yeah, exactly what happened. I was actually checking the charge
his memoirs
on my earbuds, and I had to lean down to get it, and then naturally the second I did that, despite sitting here for 19 minutes, you then choose that moment to go, let's bring on Mr. Tom. And I'm like,
I was just waiting for you to do something weird, and then I put you on. At least we've got David laying on his bed so he can be actually vertical over there. But good to see you, Tom. We're going to get into all this crap that we've been talking about already, but let me go ahead and bring in our last guest who's with us right now, and that is David Villamartin, who is actually in Manhattan right now.
Is he
Hi, how you all doing?
Good. How are you, man? Welcome to New York again. Welcome back.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Beautiful day, lovely blue skies, despite a little bit of a nip in the air. Got in midday-ish just after. Quick power nap, and then down to Legends to watch the Baggies dismally fail in helping Leeds out, but it was okay. I got there and found the only Baggies fan in the whole of Manhattan, so it was a good day.
Was he wearing a Tesco bag?
He was almost wearing something differently when they didn't do us a favour and I had to kick his ass out of the Legends, I tell you. But there you go. Such is the way.
That's hard to get thrown out of Legends.
Yeah, not when you've not done Leeds fan a favour. It isn't.
There you go.
But yeah, good day. Good day. Nice to be back.
Are you in town tomorrow? You watching the Leeds match?
Unfortunately, I will be taking off at the time the Leeds match is just about to kick off. So I will be landing and hoping that there's 3 points already in the bag.
Well, do you have ESPN on the plane?
One works
Maybe you
when
can
they're on
watch
the plane, unfortunately.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Happy Friday. If you're having a beer, cheers to you. If you're not, cheers to me. I suppose.
Water for right now for you.
Have some water over there. All right, guys. So let's get to it. We're talking Premier League title race. Clearly, Manchester City is still the favorite. They're doing their normal thing of coming on strong in the second half of the season. Everybody getting healthy. Liverpool fighting up there as well, but Arsenal showing a little bit of guile, a little bit of hope, giving us all a little bit of hope that there might be a 3-horse race. What are everybody's thoughts here? Is it Man City's league? Are we all just
one
playing
question.
around? What do you guys think?
I've one question that will help me in my decision on this.
Okay.
Just quickly, let me consult my ultra mathematical formula. How many charges do Arsenal have against them in the FFP at the moment?
Probably like 5, I'm sure.
None
But
yet.
how many we know?
None publicly.
None officially. None
Cool.
officially.
How many does the other teams you have? How many of the
118?
other teams got?
115.
115, sorry.
So, okay, so 115 FC and none, which means that they're probably going to win it. Don't get me wrong, you're in the conversation, you've earned your way into the conversation, but they're still going to win it because they've got the players that show from breaking the rules 115 times. So,
Oh, I get you. I get you. Well, I did have a conversation with somebody and they said, don't worry. All you got to do this season is get close. And then in about 5 years, they'll give you the trophy when they finally deal with Manchester City and take it away from them. Like Jose Mourinho, he's like, hey, maybe they give us the trophy for when we got screwed by Man City. Yeah, it's just going to be a bunch of trophyless seasons is what's going to happen, I think, and City will get a slap on the wrist and then get to continue to use all their players that they cheated to get.
shouldn't have got that far,
Right.
quite frankly.
Yeah.
It should have got to maybe 3 charges before, like, the Premier League went, well, this is stacking up a bit, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did it take 115? I know we discuss this every week, but why did it get to 115 before the Premier League went, well, this is getting to be a bit of a problem?
I think,
Might as well let it go to 200 at that point.
I mean, I want to remember, like, after our first, the first season we were on, and it was like, the summer, and then it starts surfacing that City has been in violation of all these rules, and then it kind of went. It was like, the courts will handle it, and they filing an appeal, and they won the appeal, and then we don't hear anything, and now it's here we are, almost 2.5 years later, 3 years later. And it's resurfacing, and I just have the feeling that it's going to happen. It's just going to be the same thing where there'll be this appeal, and then we won't hear anything about it. And then a few years later, once Pep is gone, and he can distance himself from those charges, and
Chalby comes in.
I don't know. Maybe that's why Klopp is leaving. Maybe there's charges up the coming down the pipe that Klopp doesn't want to be associated with, so he's like, fuck it. It's not going to matter because
with Klopp, I think it's probably the wife wants to go back to Germany.
She's tired of living in Liverpool.
Yeah. But she likes having her hubcaps on her cars. Maybe no, I don't know. She. But also, he's probably sniffing that Bayern Munich job is probably going to be available sooner rather than later. So, especially the rate they're going. I mean, they've already Tottenham the club up, haven't they? So that's a problem that needs to be fixed, probably.
What a turn of
crazy.
events that would be for the Bundesliga.
know.
Lolo, I guess to
flapping
answer
my gums
yours,
a lot. It's fine.
I think it's Man City's to lose the title. So to answer your question for the class.
Yeah, I said about a month or 2 ago Yeah, you enjoy your time at the moment whilst you're at the top, because once City start rolling, De Bruyne gets back. I think what we've got to realise is how well they've done without him.
Yeah.
You know, and the player in that midfield is Rodri. I mean, I just love watching him. He's fantastic, you know. And now that De Bruyne is back, you know, it's just going to be all guns blazing. But I'm looking forward to the run-in. Of course, your hardest game is going to come. I think it's on the 20th of April. Lolo.
Who's
Who's
that?
that?
Yeah, against somebody from the Black Country.
Ooh, the Stoop Derby.
Oh, let's hope they don't suspend our entire midfield for that one.
That's gonna be the real measure of how well you're doing, I feel.
You know, I would love to think that would be a yardstick for any club, but no.
You never know,
Not
Mark.
at
You never
all.
know.
You never know. No, it's true, man. I mean, you know, at the beginning of the season, I think a lot of us, including myself, when Lopetegui was fired, let go, quit, disappeared, abducted by aliens, whatever it was, we didn't have much hope, you know, and you know, 36 hours before the start of the season, we bring in Gary O'Neill, who's been fired by Bournemouth for keeping them up, and we're just like, well, there had to be a reason for that. And he's actually, you know, he's turned out well.
Yeah.
But you know, we're too thin. We can't compete. We're going to be lucky to be able to field 11 men by April. You know, the way we're going.
The thing is, on your day, Mark, you know, you can give anyone a game.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
no, I mean, we're a fun watch, and we haven't been able to say that for a few years.
Yeah.
But
Bet on the Premier League
I
games at all.
you know, I kind of figured it'll all be sewn up by then, and maybe Arsenal won't want to play so hard because they'll have a spot in the top 4, and you know, or if the football gods are shining, they'll be, you know, close to first place, and then they'll lose a couple of games down the stretch, and we've read that. We know how that book plays.
Can hope.
No,
You're good.
So-
Team. You're good. Team.
So, so the steering it over to my club, because clearly everybody's saying Manchester City, it's their league to win. We all feel like Liverpool are the second best team right now, or no? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they're riding the Karen Klopp farewell tour.
The Karen Klopp?
Yeah, you know, Karen Klopp, because, you know, he likes to
yeah.
do
Oh,
Is
players
that
I
the
get
wife?
it.
Is
I
that
get
the
it.
wife?
I just-
Considering you beat them recently,
What's that?
Yeah.
it's
Well,
hard to say that they're second best because Arsenal beat them recently,
Oh, yeah,
but
very
then
true.
Liverpool beat them in the cup. So it's a bit of 6 and 1, half a dozen of the other, maybe. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see how Liverpool survives these injuries.
To go with the
Yeah,
Liverpool theme, it's
they
their
got some
magical
injuries
mystery
going.
tour.
Okay, well, speaking of that, Mark, let me show you one of the injuries we got here. Let me move you guys to the side there.
How's he
Allison
really? He's
is out
out?
with a hamstring injury, and that is adding to the Trent Alexander-Arnold news, where he's going to be out for a couple of weeks as well. Big loss for Liverpool, and not at a good time. I know they have Kelleher, something like that.
The Irish guy. We'll just call him the Irish guy.
Yeah, who's not bad, but he's not Allison. And for all the people, for the arguments we were having a few weeks ago about is Allison world class? Is Allison world class? Well, we're going to see right now how world class he is and how much of a difference he makes. And if Liverpool can get through these next, I think they actually have a double game week. So
Ooh, that's
they
good for
have
all
2
of us.
matches. I think they play Brentford.
They do.
And then midweek they
They
play
get Luton on the road. They get Luton at home
Luton
on
Wednesday. Yeah.
But yeah, they're pretty banged up.
I mean,
but,
Liverpool
you know,
should be fine against Brentford and Luton. They should be able to get through this little down period. And then they go to
those are
Nottingham
tough
Forest
clubs,
after
though.
that.
Those are tough
but
clubs. I mean,
they
Luton has
should
proven
be
to
okay.
be has proven to be a tough out, as Tony can attest to. You know, I mean, they can score.
Lost and drew.
And
But they concede as well, Mark.
And Brentford. No, that's very true. You know, that's very,
They're
very
riding
true.
the wave, haven't they, of novelty?
Yeah.
You know, yeah. But and Brentford with Ivan Toney back is obviously formidable. But given the injuries, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
Luton,
that's definitely.
Sheffield United and Burnley have done this dance before, and they'll probably end up doing it again. Whereas Luton are very much got nothing to lose, can throw anything at the wall, see what sticks kind of mentality. Because if they go down, they're just gonna be happy with the 200 million they had to refocus their club, the infrastructure,
build the stadium.
exactly
I
right.
tell you, I would love Luton to stay up. I would love it.
I'd love to see Everton go down.
It's a real kick then in the teeth towards the Premier League and the clubs with the money and everything else. Little old Luton playing in what is basically a shithole of the ground. They've come up and they play good football.
They did it the right way. They've done everything the right way.
But they are susceptible to conceding goals. But I love watching them because it's exciting. It's the underdog against the big boys, and especially all the crap they were getting at the beginning of the season. No, they shouldn't even be in there because the ground's not up to it and the pitch isn't up to it and all that. Well, this is what football's all about: pitching the little man against the big man, and even better still if Everton go down, of course. That would make my year.
And they're brand new stadium.
Going up. Indeed.
Well,
there's another facet to that. Everything David just said is 100% correct. However, also, if Leeds then get promoted and they do stay up, then hopefully we get the opportunity to take advantage of second season syndrome.
Well, speaking of Leeds United and Luton Town, I'm seeing some similarities from Leeds United's first season back up in the Prem, as compared to Luton's as well. The reason we're more excited to watch Luton Town right now than we are to watch Burnley or Sheffield United is because we're seeing the Burnley and Sheffield United trying to make these adjustments and figure out how to play in the Premier League, and we're seeing Luton just do the damn thing. They're just going out there and they're playing their football, and they're like, we know you're gonna score, but we're gonna try to do some shit as well. And they are playing their game, and it's fun to watch. And that was Leeds United for me. Season 1, when you first came back, was like game 1 against Liverpool. I still remember that, going like, holy fuck, they are not backing down from anybody. They are going to go out there and play their game. So super fun to watch. Yes, I hope they stay up, but we know from Leeds United that is not sustainable without making some adjustments.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, Burnley and Sheffield United may go straight down for not having an identity. At least Luton Town right now has an identity, and they're going for it. You guys agree?
Well, we didn't make enough adjustments.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I can kind of echo that idea of that, teams like these are fun to watch and they're reminiscent of one another. I mean, for me, seeing these teams come up and down, and it's been like every year there's been a team that's like, that's a pretty good team. The first promotion that I witnessed was Leeds coming up. And they were a great watch. The year after was Brentford. Brentford proved to be an incredibly fun watch because they just surprised the shit out of everybody. Nottingham Forest the year after took everybody on at home. And then this year we got Luton, who is also pretty tough at home in that little tiny backyard garden of a stadium. So it's been fun.
What Mark's describing there is a phrase that gets thrown out. Usually, I don't think it's meant as what's the word? I forget what I'm saying there. But the phrase breath of fresh air, for example, oh, Leeds are a breath of fresh air. They're attacking the Premier League. And then next year it was Brentford, oh, breath of fresh air on the league. And now it's Luton. Oh, what a breath of fresh air. All for doing the same things, generally speaking, is basically trying to attack against teams that they maybe probably shouldn't. And then they either pay for it or they don't. But either way, it's entertaining, it's enjoyable to watch. And there is a degree of football that should be entertainment, despite keeping in mind it is a sport.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was trying to say. Thank you, Tom, for helping me out there.
No blue card for you.
No
blue card.
No, but it was fine. It was just the phrase was in my head before Mark even did his description. And I thought, oh, hang on, he's saying what I was going to say.
I got some ESPN going on there.
Well, this is very interesting. It brought up an interesting thought, and maybe it's a little thought gumbo going on in my head of all of the things y'all are saying, and Tony throwing in the blue card, throwing in all this, and making me think, how can we perfect the Premier League? And you know what, Mr. Tom, you mentioned something that we are missing. We are missing a lot in the Premier League, and it is entertainment. So I think at the end of every single match, 3 points are up for grab, but there is a bonus 1 point that will be handed out by the audience, by all the viewers worldwide can vote for the most entertaining of the match. So if you win, if you're Manchester City and you're boring, nobody gets the points. You can vote for no points. Nobody gets the points. But if there's a very entertaining match and Luton, like when they played Arsenal and Arsenal end up winning, Luton got nothing from that. Luton should have got a fucking point. They don't take it from us. That's the bonus point. So how about this? Matches have 4 points to vie for. 3 are on the result. And 1 is if you entertain us, the people paying your salaries.
So you get a point for being pretty. You get pretty points.
Pretty points. Pretty, fun, entertaining, exciting. You got robbed, sort of a thing.
Can you hear that? It's
like
the sound of like Johan Cruyff, Diego Maradona, all rolling in their graves.
Maradona's going fantastico. I'll get 1 more point for every match I play.
Yeah, I'd say he's rolling in mounds of cocaine in his grave. That's probably buried with him like the Egyptian.
He's trying to roll over, but he can't. It's just dunes of cocaine in his. Big up Pincushion member for 24 months. That's 2 years for those of you who can't do math. 2 fucking years right there. Ian, my man. All right. So nobody's up for the bonus point? We get it in fantasy.
I'm down for pretty points.
I think it might be flawed as soon as you involve Leeds fans, because we know what they're like for voting their players, or especially players on loan at other clubs.
Calvin Phillips, player of the year for Man City.
Calvin Phillips, player of the year for England. Cody Drama, player of the year for Cardiff, and then, funny enough, the year after, player of the year for Luton. And so
really good at those teams, though.
He was.
Cody Drama.
But I don't think it was the actual home club supporters necessarily.
Right. So Jack Harrison is really excited to be player of the year for Everton.
No, undoubtedly he will be.
Yeah. And wherever the hell Luke Ayling went, player of the year over there.
Middlesbrough.
The rest of his life.
B-boy Bill.
Where did he go?
He'll win player of the year at Middlesbrough, despite the fact that Sam Greenwood's been there all season.
Yeah.
Oh, he has?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, so nobody's
Sam Greenwood is calling him rookie?
I suspect that may be the case, yeah. If we're going for really stupid ideas, like one at my head was, why not just do away with wins and losses and just give points for goals? Let Man City just try and get 100 points by scoring 100 goals.
No, Tom, this is the argument I have to have.
Rewarding entertainment.
Yeah, no, but proper football fans know you can be more entertained by a 1-0.
Football fans, you try to turn it into American Idol.
Well, yeah. Well, I just get tired. It was like with the NFL when you were watching prime Belichick, Brady, and you're like, oh, they're winning again. And he's like, Hut, touchdown, good job, moving on. Hut, touchdown, moving on. And it was like so robotic. And Manchester City seemed that way to me, where you're like, half the game, they're not doing anything. And then all of a sudden they're up 2 goals. And you're like, this is the, who's enjoying
I've
this?
got another idea.
Wait. Can I just say, if Manchester City aren't doing anything, what are the opponents doing?
They're literally just standing there.
They're doing less.
They're
Well,
doing
no,
they're wondering how they can
week.
ask
No.
players for a jersey.
for an autograph.
No.
have your
Last
jersey?
week against Everton. Everton were playing some of their best football they've played all season. Everton were really entertaining. City just weren't quite on it, but City not being on it and boring are able to stop an attack of Everton. And then you get a one-on-one with Haaland and Brentwaite, and you're like, yeah, Haaland's going to win that and score a goal. And yeah, KDB does
solve
something
your issue,
fantastic.
Lolo.
What's up?
I've got a fantastic
difference.
idea. I'm gonna solve your problem for boring football teams. You have, say, Manchester City play Arsenal. Oh, but if Arsenal ain't up to scratch in terms of entertainment, well, then you have Luton waiting in the wings, ready to entertain you. Simon Cowell sits on his perch above the stadium. If Arsenal ain't doing it for him, ain't getting his winky up or anything like that, he presses the buzzer. Arsenal need to fuck right off. Bring in Luton. Bring in next. And then
like
that
a
play out.
rotating thing. Yeah, they get rotated off the pitch.
You don't
Well,
entertain
when-
the Emperor, you're off, son.
Well, I heard
Your
next
shot
season
clock, Nick.
Nickelodeon is getting the rights to air all the Premier League matches over here in the States, as long as they're allowed to slime any player at any time. So you might be going for a throw-in, but if you've been boring, Kyle Walker slimed.
Right.
I'm
maybe
watching
that
that
is
shit.
mate.
Maybe instead of the
watching
sin
that
bin,
shit.
that would
Tribes
be
lately.
the
On a
that would be
penalty,
the-
you're doing a
that would
run-up
be
and you
the
get
that would be the
slimed?
blue card
Green
penalty. You know, the you get slimed, and then you'd have to play out on the pitch with the slime on you.
Sure, his
Yeah,
other family would like to see him get slimed.
Kind of like Adama Traore did,
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the rest of these little meme thingy, little photo thingies that we got going on here. Some
love memes.
actual news. Little shout out to Mr. Roy Hodgson, who got let go this week after
Has he
not
actually been
having
let
a
go?
great season. What?
How is he? How is he? Because he was in
hospital.
hospital,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
yeah.
They fire him while he was in hospital.
They
Yes, they
fired
did.
him while he was in the hospital.
So they got him. So they got him to save them from the slide they were supposedly on under Patrick Vieira, which I personally think he would have overturned anyway, based on the games they had left. But they got rid of him anyway. Brought back Roy from the fucking crypt, and then they're sending him fucking back there. Disgusted.
Yep.
I was
Wonder if
kind of
he'll end up
hoping
in
that Roy
Scotland
would
like
be
Neil
able
Warnock.
to last the season, because it just, I see him as just kind of like this old guard, and he calls it as he sees it, and you just love his pressers. And Tom, you've brought it up a number of times, and I've actually gone back and seen it a number of times. But when he's asked, some ridiculous question, and he's just looks at, he looks dead at the person, and is just like, "Are you taking the piss?"
Yeah.
It's one of the best
And it's just
interviews
like,
ever.
and I've
So
seen,
you are.
I've
you
seen
take
like his pressers have kind of continued with that attitude, and so I think that sort of thing is gonna be missed. And someone who's willing to, he's old enough and established enough to where he can say whatever the fuck he wants, and
He needs the
doesn't give a
t-shirt,
shit,
doesn't he? He needs a t-shirt. I'm 75 and I don't give a shit.
exactly.
About Oliver Glasner.
I would say I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, I don't.
It looks like he was coaching Nike before.
AFC Richmond.
straight off the.
I think he was in the.
Looks like the Deutsche Polka behind him. Blurred
I think
out.
he was in the OC on the WB network.
He looks like he would be like the manager that a team like Huddersfield would bring in after they've sacked the manager that actually got them promoted.
Oh, he is Austrian. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
Yeah.
I thought that was Gary O'Neill.
Great
be
things
honest,
come
I was
from
like-
the Austrian league.
yep.
He
I
was
would have
last at
loved to
my
see Jose
transfer.
Not
Mourinho
profit,
go
though.
to Palace.
No, not enough. Not enough
Jose Mourinho goes to
spotlight.
Palace. What?
He got them to the
Yeah.
Deutsche Pokal final, and then he left at the end of last season to come to fucking Palace.
Which club was he actually at? This guy.
Eintracht Frankfurt.
Okay.
They the ones that won the Europa League
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
in the.
All right.
it
Well, let's
Rangers?
get
I'm
to
sure.
No, nothing.
moving on from there. Bruno Fernandes
Bruno
covered the most distance in the Premier
Fernandes.
League in 2023 somehow. We found out that 99% of it was running after the referees.
God,
Yeah.
what a
Very well
rat! I
said
hate that
there.
man.
What a prick.
He's the most hated footballer. I'm
Yeah.
convinced of it.
He must
And
be.
He's
it's
so
it's
annoying.
actually nothing to do with football, is it? The reality is he's a fantastic footballer.
Yeah.
Great at dead
Yeah.
balls, reliable on penalties, has all the ingredients, great footballer. The reason
Free
everyone hates
kicks.
him is because he takes all that and he wastes his time. He's a great footballer. He could be a massively great footballer, but he's not because he spends all the time fucking moaning.
And he's got a face like a weasel.
Yeah, that as
Yeah,
well.
he really
And
does.
he wears the kit of a bunch of weasels as well.
And the thing is, when he's running around, like he seems like tall enough, but then when you see him actually going up to like the referees, and you're like,
He's like
oh,
5'7".
he is a little rat. He is a little rat. He's not super tall. Like, what is he?
Oh, we all know the worst thing he's ever done in football.
He's 5'10".
Worst thing
He's
he ever
not that
did was
small.
when they were losing at Anfield and he was trying to get himself sent off and subbed. It was
Yeah.
like, you are not a leader.
Yeah, not a
No.
captain at all. All right. We spotted this license plate. COY Spurs. Come on, you Spurs. And then somebody lovely put, I bet it doesn't have a cup holder. Always love those little digs. Very clever. Very clever.
Won the
there.
League Cup back in, was it 2013 or something within the last 20 years? I don't know.
I don't count.
Oh, well, there you go.
You don't-
They got
Suits us for
something.
it to not count.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd take that.
I'm sure they got a plate or
They won the
sort of
FA
dish.
Cup in '91.
Well, there you go. His
Oh,
car
so
wasn't
take-
made yet. So there we go. Let's
Last
head out
time-
to
last time they
Germany
won the
to
league,
figure out.
JFK hadn't even been shot yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Ouch.
Speaking of a couple of Spurs, the 1 year Harry Kane joins Bayern Munich, it looks like they're not going to win the league for the first time because Bayern Leverkusen is having a killer league. And even Leroy Sané says, Thomas Tuchel came to Munich and turned my club into Chelsea.
I would have phrased
Oh,
that
what?
differently.
If
I would have-
he
I would have
said that
phrased
for
it as a
real,
question. It'd have been guest the year Harry Kane joined Bayern Munich.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Can I still think it's Bayern's to lose.
no.
Yeah.
Deep down
No.
it is, yeah. But I'm enjoying the fact that-
I think.
I mean,
that-
I'm enjoying it too, but I still think it's theirs to lose. Like
Yeah.
the gap is whatever it is, but they're still Bayern.
yeah, because when they do
it's
lose
5
a game,
points,
they'll fall off
but-
a cliff.
I don't see it. That Leverkusen is so fast and so organized. Their passes are crisp. Now, my metric is really small because I've only seen them last week. But wow, were they good?
No, I know,
They
but
were
for
just a machine to watch.
BVB to be up the whole year last year, and then Bayern to win it on the last day in the last 20 minutes, like.
Well, didn't
just
didn't
saying.
Bayern took it in like
last
point
day.
difference
Oh,
or
yeah.
goal differential,
Yeah,
right?
they
It
won
was
it on
It
the
was
last
Yeah.
it
day
was
in the
tied, and they won on
Yeah.
goal differential.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
but
last day.
that was Dortmund. That was Dortmund, who are, they're serial capitulators. We won't call them bottlers, but they capitulate to Bayern all the time. But this year, I mean, we're looking at an invincible season by Leverkusen. They still haven't
No, I
lost yet.
Yeah.
And they're just doing their damn thing. And the thing is, they don't look like, look at Girona in La Liga, who's also pulling a blinder. They're putting in some performances that are kind of like mind-blowing, where you do not understand how you don't understand how they're doing it. Bayern Leverkusen, actually, they're just grinding away and playing very solid football, tight at the back, good counterattack, good attack. It makes more sense for Bayern Leverkusen to continue on and win the title, as opposed to Girona, where you're like, they're just not going to keep it up. They just can't possibly keep
Yeah,
it
that's
up.
because Girona have lost, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
To Real
Leverkusen
Madrid.
have not lost yet.
right. And
That's
I
the
think
real
that's the
test.
difference. Go ahead,
I think
Tom.
you've also
happens
got
when
to
they
look
do
at the
lose.
coach as well, haven't you? That's the difference as well. I mean, the Girona, the coach, he's probably known in Spanish football, but who's heard of him outside? But when you look at Bayer Leverkusen and their coach, you're looking at one of the best midfielders that there's been in world football during his time. You know,
Yeah, but we've also
but
seen
highly
Frank Lampard manage.
underrated. Yeah,
Tom, finish your thought.
I wouldn't put Frank Lampard in the same bracket as
No.
Xabi Alonso.
But the thing I would say though, that's all valid. But I would say, I'd be much more interested to see what happens when Bayer Leverkusen lose a match, and then how they pick themselves up from that. Because like if Girona are doing fantastic as well, obviously on their budget and stuff, but the form is dropped off because they lost games. Whereas Bayer Leverkusen, it's easy to maintain that confidence when you're always winning. Like Leeds, not to make it about Leeds, but we've got a confidence going because we've won every game this year, and it's much easier.
Let's
to
make
win
it about Leeds, Tom. Let's make it about Leeds.
Why not?
Well, I think for me the difference between Girona and Leverkusen is these two teams played their top competition, and Leverkusen answered the bell and Girona didn't. They were supposed to be like this phenomenal defensive team, and Real came in and beat them 4-0.
How many
It wasn't even
players play
it wasn't even close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was also tough. That was like Vinny having a Real Madrid were up for that match, and it showed. The thing is, Real Madrid have slept on teams all season and have been punished for it. They were very up. They treated Girona with the utmost respect of we need to beat you, and they did. And when Vinicius is in that form, oh my God, you think about Mbappe going to Real Madrid, where does he fit in? He plays in Vinny's his spot, so you cannot bench Vinicius.
Would have signed Mbappe
if
and
West
not play him
Brom
either.
treated Southampton with the same respect tonight. That would have been really cool. Would have been.
But speaking of it, I mean, like, look at you'd have to put Mbappe up front if you're on this team. I don't know how Rodrigo stays on the pitch. I would find a way to keep flip-flopping Vinicius and Mbappe, because you need Mbappe on the wing.
Yeah.
As much as he could play striker, you need Mbappe on the wing there. Thank God this team doesn't have Kevin De Bruyne. After that comment earlier about imagine Kevin De Bruyne, thank God they don't have Kevin De Bruyne.
Of course he'd get in this team.
You know what they're missing, though? You know who they're really missing?
Who?
Left back. Left back, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they'll get Davies.
Junior Firpo.
As soon as I heard the word they're missing, I was like, right, it's my time to shine. Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't see Mbappe hanging out in the middle of the up front. Like he loves the space. He loves running. Well, let's look at some of these other ones. It was Valentine's Day, and I hope you all had a good. We are still in
Just letting you know that.
February. But I hope you all had a
February.
good Valentine's Day. I hope everybody got laid and treated your significant other to some flowers or something. I love this. Ask the missus what she wanted for Valentine's. She said, give you a clue. Ex-England goalie. She's expecting flowers. She's getting semen. Ah,
Wow.
Zing.
I love that one. David Seaman.
I'd be impressed
Arsenal
that she knew who Tim Flowers was, in all truth.
Yeah, bring her some flowers just for knowing that, and then
That's very 1993 of her.
and then bring it home.
Reggie and his wife have been together for a very long time.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
And let's see. I think I have a bunch of these Mbappe things. It took some time, but Kylian Mbappe's serious club career is finally about to begin. Yes, it is.
Oh God.
And then I mentioned this one. Which club will Kylian Mbappe's next club be? Will be Kylian Mbappe's next club, and this is via Sportsline odds makers. Arsenal are second, a long second away, but
Coming in
Based on-
1,200 to
based on what,
1.
we're
In all
even
truth,
above
though, what is that
any
based
Saudi pro team. That's like fucked up. Any team.
I don't know, man.
I mean, Arsenal could
money
afford it if
talks,
they really
man.
wanted to.
Money talks.
I'm just saying, who has £1 million a week to pay this guy?
Oh, you do totally, Lolo.
I don't know if you've seen our show, but we've only got 16 people watching.
Stan,
I
Don't
think,
win.
I think,
Stan
I think
Kroenke
whichever
has
team
the
does
pockets
buy
to
him
do it.
is inviting the auditors for FFP immediately.
I think if
We're
if,
tied
if,
on the FFP right now, so
I
we
think
can't
if
do it.
if Kroenke was going to spend, if he could spend, he would have already spent. They didn't spend anything in the winter. Kind of tells me that it's just like, this is what you're working with, guys. So go out and get it for me.
Yeah, but basically this
Yeah.
is the truth. Kylian Mbappe to Arsenal. Who says no? Kylian
Kylian
Mbappe.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah.
Let's face it, it'll just end up the same way as Kai Havertz, won't he? You know?
Damn.
playing left back.
Damn. Playing left back. Yeah, no, I'm still looking for Kai Havertz to go in at left back. I wouldn't
hate
mind that. He
Kai
played
Havertz,
well for
that-
Germany.
So,
Played
but
well for
it-
Germany that way.
Yeah,
Calling it
Arteta's still
50-50
looking for Kai Havertz, full stop.
What 50-50 split is generous in their fan base.
The only people in the Premier League that could afford him is Man City, Man United, and I would say Arsenal.
Newcastle can't afford him.
No.
No, not with whatever it's called, PSR, whatever the new name for profit and sustainability.
You know,
Good
enough.
the real game plan here would be for Arsenal to pretend that they wanted him, knowing that Chelsea just buy whoever they want.
Chelsea are in the doo-doo, aren't they, at the moment?
No, but we've played
they
that
are in the
game, Tom.
doo-doo.
Tom, we've played that game to precision, but we can't fuck around and have them get
weren't planning
Mbappe
on
will
purpose,
actually
though.
make their team better.
That weren't your
Mbappe
actual
will
game
not
plan.
fail.
That was just a thing that happened.
Yeah, it worked. It worked. We did it perfect. We always wanted Trossard, and we didn't want Mudryk. We just wanted somebody else to pay 80 million so we could get Trossard for 25. All good. We were
Oh, so
hoping
you
the
knew he
same
was
thing
gonna
would happen
fall
with
out
Kai
the coach
Havertz,
at Brighton
and
then.
everybody called our bluff, and now we bought this fucking dude for 65 million.
We beefed it up for the Ukrainians to give the Ukrainians 80 million
Yeah,
for the war effort.
we did
If I
our
was Real
good deed.
Madrid, I would literally just turn around to him and go, "Do you actually want to win Champions League, mate?"
Yeah.
That'd be it. That'd be it. You're already rich. We'll pay you what is actually a lot of money for a footballer, and you might actually win the Champions League, which you haven't won over there.
Yeah.
And you never will.
Yeah,
Or
they'll never win
Arsenal,
PSG.
and you might win an FA Cup. You never won one of those either, did you? No, you didn't. Not this
Well,
year.
I would say Man United would be the dark horse right now, especially with the Neos. You know, as much as I hate them, that man has a lot of money. But does Mbappe want to live in Madrid or Manchester? And play for Real Madrid or play for
There
Manchester
is that to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
you know.
hot weather or Manchester nightclubs.
Well, him and William Saliba did go to the same school. William Saliba was on a youth team that was coached by Mbappe's father. They're friends. They talk. Yeah, there's some traction here. It is going to come down to who's willing to pay him, and let's just be real. He goes to Real Madrid, and
goes to Real
hopefully
Madrid, for
Real
sure.
Madrid keep Man City from winning every single Champions League until they're actually
That's
go
tough.
to
I would
trial.
hope
Oh,
they
so
just
you don't
never-
need him
neither of them
either,
win.
seeing as you're also Champions League contenders.
I don't see that.
We're
You know
gonna
that,
win it.
Lolo.
We're gonna win
I
it.
don't. I don't see City as being like they've won one Champions League. That's it. They're
Yeah.
not. They're not a proven Champions League winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just barely snuck by.
The
and
money
kept-
says they will be, though.
But they could be.
But
You
but they
can
as
say they're not a
easily
proven
couldn't be.
Champions League winner, but they are one of
They're
the
in the
best
mix.
teams in the world.
Yeah,
so
they're in
they
the mix.
should be winning Champions Leagues.
Yeah, but do they play the right style of football and everything?
The thing is,
They've played
when it gets
they've
down
done
to
it,
it,
and that's it.
it's harder for Premier League clubs and for Italian clubs and French clubs. It's harder for those clubs to win the Champions League because they're constantly being bombarded by their league and having to win their league as well. When you're Real Madrid, when you're Bayern Munich, Real Madrid or Barcelona or Bayern Munich, by the the thick of the Champions League, you may already have your league wrapped up pretty much.
Mhm.
Right.
As opposed to City, who will be in a fight until the end. Liverpool will be in a fight till the end. Arsenal will be in a fight till the end. And even your Inter Milan, Napoli, AC Milan, not
Juventus.
PSG, but Juventus type
Yeah, not
teams.
PSG, because PSG are what you're talking about here. And there's a
The
team that
past
wins
couple
the league
seasons,
every
they
year.
haven't. The past couple
This
seasons,
is-
they haven't run away with it. But yes, correct.
Yeah.
This is a great thing Lolo's bringing up because historically, Spain and Italy, they are known for they will bend over backwards to accommodate the teams that have made it to the latter stages in Europe. Like if Real Madrid basically we want a 5-day rest, the league go, all right, we'll rearrange the fixtures.
Right.
If we'll use Arsenal as an example, Arsenal go to the Premier League, we could do it with a 5-day break. They're going to go, no, actually, because Thailand gave us £2 billion this year. So actually, you're going to be playing at 12:30, mate. And that's it. There's no fucking debating it. You will
Right.
play
Yeah.
when we fucking tell you you're playing.
You're absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely right. Where the Premier League is not going to, the Premier League can't give City a 5-day rest without also thinking of Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, the other teams who are in it as
Fair
well.
comment.
Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yes,
fair comment.
Real Madrid can look like shit and just be, stumbling their way through the group stages, the round of 16, and then they look better and better and better and better with every match they play because the focus becomes laser set on winning the Champions League. And even
That's
City
their
last
league's
year, even though they
detriment, though.
won it, they couldn't give their 100% focus to the Champions League because they had to catch Arsenal. They did it. They did it all on their own with 115 charges, but
Well, and also Arsenal helped them.
Arsenal helped
Yeah, they
them.
did.
You
We're
really
a
did help
loving
them.
team.
You only had to
You are loving.
You would probably been only right.
We're a loving team. I drink out of cans now. This season is all about cans. No more bottles. But
Amazing.
anyways, guys, it is halftime. We are at the halftime. We have already gone through 4 minutes of stoppage time. Mark, I see you added a bio break video.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. If not, I did download the 1912 Olympics final. which was Great Britain against somebody.
Yeah, let's have Marks.
It doesn't matter, to be honest. We're all gonna be taking care of all things bio while it plays.
I love that.
I know.
Yeah, let's do Mark's thing.
Which one's less likely to get you done for copyright by the Olympics?
Right.
Well,
Exactly.
it's from 1912, so it's you know it's free.
It
open.
is already passed through the fair use laws.
What's going on? McChronicle is in the house as well. Good to see you there. This season is can do or bottle it again. Can do. Thank you very much. All right, guys. We will be back. Us old men are going to go on a bio break. We've got about 3 minutes, 40 seconds from this little trivia video that Mark put together. So we'll be back shortly.
Oh,
for the
no, it's not
second half of
trivia,
the show.
but it's just a video. It's just slideshows
music
of what people talked about and what they may have said.
Do I
this
need
week in
music?
football. Sure, why
There you
not?
All right,
Music
we
is
got the
always
music
good.
there. All right, everybody. We'll be back in 4 minutes. All right, and we're back. Whoop. There he is. There he is. All right, Mark, let's get that music out of here. All right. Back to the show.
Pardon me.
Who's here? All right. All right. That was fun. Thank you, Mark, for putting that together for
course.
us.
Looks like
All
we've
right,
lost
we got some new
Tony.
people. All right, we got some new people in the chat as well. What's the tune? I have no idea. It's called Rock. There we go. Yeah.
Maybe
right, what's going
maybe
on next
maybe we
tonight?
can call it maybe we can call it Mean Gene Okerlund's theme. Is that who's in the
Alright.
cup?
As ever, amazing work,
Yes.
Mark. It is me, Gene.
I love that guy. He was the reason why I loved Mean Gene so much was that he was able to deal with some of the biggest cokeheads in the business. You imagine just being around like Hulk Hogan and
All the
the
coke.
Macho Man and just being all coked up as shit, and you're just trying to like, okay, this is the show,
Add it on tap.
you know.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you should
All
see
right.
the
Well,
blooper videos of him, Mark.
I should see what?
There's blooper videos of like
Oh,
when
that
he-
would
when
be
he goes off
incredible.
sc- They exist on YouTube.
I'll
He's
look
a
him up.
foul-mouthed human being. I will tell
I
you
bet
that.
he was.
Anyway.
well, fellas, it is time for a little. Oh my God. It is time for betting in the dark with Mr. Tom. And Mr. Tom, I was just going to look at if we had any more information about what that song was called, but it was called Rock. But as I'm looking through here, there is a song called Feeding the Ducks. So, Mr. Tom, we will play Feeding the Ducks while we do. Oops. I'm not John, if you haven't realized.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
All
Hello.
right, Mr.
hang
Tom.
on.
Feeding
I've
the
never
duck.
heard the song before, so do excuse me, but I'm going to try and do it in cadence of the song. Okay,
All right,
so
let's do
hello.
this. And now, everybody,
Oh.
get ready for betting in the dark with your host, Mr. Tom.
Hey yo, I've got some bets.
And just a reminder to everybody, Betting in the Dark is a segment that we like to do with Mr. Tom, and we ask him to find the longest shot odds where we can turn $1, £1 into hundreds, which means they are not good bets. So we do not encourage you to place these bets. Even if I say, oh, I'm taking that bet, that is not saying you should take that bet. That being said, have fun, spend your £1 wisely, and don't listen to any bet that we say, even though I will definitely place every single one of these bets. So, Mr. Tom, now that the disclaimer has been read, are you ready to get this started?
Ooh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Exactly, Knick-Knack, but for £1, who cares? That's what I'm saying. I lost 27 last week, Mr. Tom. I actually did well last week. Betting one-off bets. I bet William Saliba to get the first goal, and I bet 33 cents, and I won like $13. And then I bet Odegaard to have 2 assists. I bet $1, and I won $30. So I bet $1.27. See, that's where the 27.
West Ham
really
helped you
helped.
out there in that first half then.
They really did. All right, Mr. Tom. First up.
Right, okay. We are going to go with Ivan Toney to score first. But then Liverpool are going to win because they're Liverpool. But because of Ivan Toney scoring first, bumps the money up, bro. 195.
That is
Go with the
not a
score as well.
bad bet right there, Tom. I like that. What do you guys think in the chats? Do we like this bet right here? Do we think Ivan Toney can score first? Remember, Kelleher's going to be in goal. They're playing at Brentford. Yo, this isn't bad right here. This
I'm
isn't
taking
bad.
this. Why not? This looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, even if Tony gets a penalty, a free kick in the first 5 minutes, and then you'd only
Right.
need Diego Jota to equalise early in the game before they take him off for his customary substitution. That's all you need. and then 2 more goals from anyone. Someone's granny might put on the Liverpool shirt and score. You'd still win. That won't happen, obviously, but you see my point. Anyway, exactly, that is true, but just it can happen. It probably won't.
This
as
could
the disclaimer
definitely
says.
happen.
Yeah, but Mo Master saying here, I'll play 50 cents. I'm playing safe
Amazing.
this week. 50 cents gets you $100.
Yep.
Yeah,
No, this is a good bet.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
like this
My
bet.
little 33-cent bet. So I've started going through and finding like weird things. So like I've got Saka for a hat trick for like 33 cents will pay me like $30. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Kai Havertz with a hat trick. It could happen. Like who took Cunha for a hat trick the other day? You know, like who's
Right.
These things are so weird. Sorry, 50 pence.
I get upset when I see Kuda score, right? And it's not because of Mark or anything personal against him or his club. It's because Leeds were routinely linked with him in our stint, in our early stint in the Premier League. I think I heard Phil Hay talk about that man so much that I felt he was actually part of my family. And then we didn't buy him.
Yeah.
So it was like, now I see him like basically doing all the things that was being talked up that he'd be doing for our team. He's not doing them at all because we never got it done.
I think you guys are doing okay.
We are.
I think
but I think we've been doing slightly a lot better with him in the team in the Premier League era.
He's been great. I hope he comes back. He injured himself last week against Brentford, so
He did. I saw that.
we will see. We're awfully thin there, but we'll save that conversation for later.
Interesting stat, Nick. Thank you for that. That only strengthens my resolve on picking it.
All right. Okay, so let's go to the next one. I like that, Tom. Very, very interesting. You took $1 from me already, $1.27 actually, because
Right, let's try and get the next one.
Listen, adding the 27 cents on there adds like $50 to the win. So I'm gonna do that. It's worth a quarter to me. All right, let's hear it, Mr. Tom.
Okay, this one is slightly more difficult, obviously, but I'm going with Cole Palmer to open the scoring. He's going to come out like a house on fire. Let's be fair, right? Whether he actually does score or not, it's not for me to say. But in case he does, because if someone does score for them, it's probably going to be him, even because he's a bit of a penalty merchant, isn't he? And then obviously Erling just turns it on in a comeback win or whatever. And you can net yourself near 300.
I don't know.
There's a reason it pays nearly double the other one. But still.
Ooh,
Yep.
You know, you're on to something here. It's the same idea. Yeah, Nick Nack's got a point there. Similar bet to the Liverpool game.
Oh, yes.
It's $1, and if you're on the same betting site that I am, it is currently at 373, which is quite a bit better than what Tom is offering. But I know that these odds have long changed since Tom has put this together.
And how much if you put $1.27?
Oh,
Rowdy's
Jesus.
quite amazing.
If you put $1.27 down, it's still the same odds.
No. But what is the payout? What is the payout? You idiot!
You're the one that said what are the odds? If you it increases a little bit, but not as much as
Probably like $70.
yeah. It's like $70 more. It's it is $50 more.
Amazing.
All right. I'll take it. Yeah, shut
Yeah,
up, King.
I'll
You two. Add
take
20.
this.
It's not 27% though, because it's 27 on top, which changes the percentage. So it's more like 24%, 22%. Anyway,
I need Cole Palmer to score first. Don't need him to do well or anything.
But you need the exact 3-1. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
But Man City can rattle off Man City beat Chelsea 3-0 about 2 years ago, didn't they? Like 3 goals in rapid succession, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying
that's how City scores.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer could score first, and then City could win 6-1.
They could,
That-
and then
that's the only reason I'm saying.
I'd be sitting there
3-1
3-1
is the
Lolo.
weirdest. 3-1 is the hardest one part of this to me. Getting that exactly right.
I would sit there at 3-1 and go, all right, Man City.
If City
I
w-
would never tell you to take it easy.
If City
Okay,
wins 6-1, what does $1.27 get you?
Fuck off.
A lot more than $2.96.
Oh, if you took that bet, if you took this bet, you got fuck all. If you did,
I'll tell you
City
what.
scored
Give me a
6.
second. I will make that up right now. Give me a second. And,
Wait, 6-1 with Cole Palmer scoring first, or just 6-1?
Yeah, no, I'll do that. I'll do exactly as it's written, but we'll do 6-1 instead. So just give me a minute or so, and I'll put it together using the top secret algorithm. It's not top
Caesars
secret,
has
it's
6-1 City. Straight up 6-1 City is 80-1. So
Right,
yeah,
so-
adding Cole Palmer scoring first and Erling Haaland scoring 2. I mean, if City wins 6-1, adding Erling Haaland to score 2 goals would probably pop up like on my betting app. Sometimes I'll add something and it'll say the bet was not added because it didn't change the odds. So adding Erling Haaland to score 2
I
would
don't think
probably
this can
not
be
change the
parlayed together. I'm getting a. They can't be combined.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
They don't want to pay your mortgage off, that's why.
What's going on, Jimmy? He says Tom has a solar calculator that works in his dungeon.
Yeah.
Master,
That's
who is
factually
Caesar?
true.
The monkey movie? Oh, you know they're making a new one of those? Jesus, how many Planet of the Apes are they making?
Right.
Speaking of
will
which,
pay. Oh, sorry, go on, Mark. It's
I
fine.
was just gonna say a movie that I don't understand that is getting another look at coming out in 2025 is the latest iteration of the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have they not learned their lesson? How badly does DC want this to be a franchise that they will keep regurgitating the same movie?
Is it DC?
It's Marvel.
I thought it was Marvel.
Fantastic Four is Marvel? Okay, that's how far down
Yeah.
the list that they've become. I do remember reading them as a kid. But I was just guessing it was DC because pretty much everything Marvel does is
Oh,
decent.
not anymore. Oh,
Not so
anymore,
much
Mark.
anymore. It's true.
I
Since
watched Madam Web today.
Disney. What did you watch?
I watched Madam Web today, right?
Oh,
Is
I
it
bet
out
that was
already?
just horseshit.
Yeah,
In the
came
UK.
out in England yesterday. But anyway, right, I'm not going to take up too much time of your time on this. I'm just going to say it was painful to watch it. It wasn't good. I don't think the people that were in it particularly thought it was good while they were making it. Dakota Johnson looked like she wanted to be anywhere else. Just wasn't a good movie. Just wasn't good. Everything was exposition. There was no dialogue that wasn't exposition. Everything was unnatural. It was like, would you really talk like this to... Mark wouldn't talk to Lolo like he was explaining the plot of the film. But anyway, and to argue, for argument's sake, 6-1, Palmer first, Haaland 2 goals, £527 payout. So probably even more for.
Wow.
For that 27% more than $1.
$1.27.
Oh no, that's just
all
for
right.
a pound. So it'd be even more for Lolo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
always
it would
get
be
more. Boom.
Always,
See?
it's in his contract actually.
Thanks. Pincushion did the math for us here. 375. That was for the other one.
Yep.
There's an
sixth
extra
one.
digit that after the decimal.
I
Which
still
was
think everyone
interesting.
should watch.
He's
that
getting us
movie.
down to the precise
Yeah.
number.
And 1 penny.
You should all watch that movie though, because if I had to watch it, then everyone else on Earth should have to see it.
Well,
funny
we'll
because
watch it. We'll watch
I'll
it
watch it from
together
the-
and do a live stream, watch along.
I'll watch along.
Already told you,
Sorry.
Lolo. If we're doing a live stream of a movie, it's Steven Seagal or nothing.
God.
Yes, it has been too long since I've watched the entire Steven Seagal catalog. Do you know, as a child, probably 10, 11, 12 years old, I carried with great pride the fact that I had seen every single Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Dolph Lundgren movie that was out there. I carried that with great pride at a
I never
certain
realised
age.
you were so cool when you was younger.
I was that cool. I was that cool.
Amazing.
I wanted to do Fat Man karate on a train and be able to fight off hundreds of people by just doing this.
You seen the Family Guy joke they do about him, where it's just basically a drawing of Steven Seagal when he's got a massive beer gut on him, and he's basically like, I love the environment and I care about the environment. And then the next clip, it cuts to him like he's fighting seals, like, but not Navy seals, like actual seals.
It's just fighting seals.
But again, exactly how Lolo just described it, he doesn't move. Because in his films now, he can't physically move. So he basically flops his arms around randomly, and then everyone just flies off around him. But the seals were doing it too in the cartoon. I was like, yeah, very good. Yeah,
But
very good.
that's why they like his last in that series where he was doing a couple of movies every year pretty much. Finally, like on the last one, he was on a train the whole time. So it's like, yeah, of course I can't move. I'm in the aisle. Like I have to, this is all I can do. Oh, now I'm in the kitchen of the train. I won.
I couldn't help myself because I'm this much of a pedantic prick. But he did a film called Maximum Conviction, where basically it was straight to DVD. I got it for 50p, but it's him and Stone Cold Steve Austin, a film. I was like, well, I have to see this just to say I've seen it.
Yeah.
And there's in a scene, he turns around to Steve Austin and they're bantering between each other, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you think you still got it in you, old man?" So I couldn't go to Wikipedia fast enough, and I was like, "You're 10 years older than this motherfucker, and you still calling him old man? You're still wearing the girdle you started wearing in Under Siege 2, Dark Territory." To which you then claimed that you was going to then work out after the fact, but you didn't because you're still clearly wearing one. Sorry.
Well, if you've
Pretty
never seen
passionate
Betting
on
in
this
the Dark
Seagal
before, this is very typical Betting in the Dark with a Steven Seagal sidetrack. All right, next up, Luton Town versus Manure.
Yeah. Right. You know I couldn't in good conscience select it the other way, right?
Yep.
So I was like, we're going to take... And Luton are quite strong at home. And they always
Yes, they
turn it
are.
on against the bigger clubs. Let's be fair. Because they've got, again, as we discussed already in this great show, they've got nothing to lose. Apart from the game. But you know what I mean. Adebayo scored, I believe, in 23 seconds in one of the games. So he's got form at coming out fast. He's going to... Bruno's going to nag the ref into giving him a penalty. So we've got that covered. You know, he's going to spend 99% of the game running around the pitch chasing the ref to give him some decisions or something. So, again, if it's on the internet, it's got to be true. And Lolo's meme proved that. So, yeah, I'm high. This is the one I'm most confident in scoring, quite frankly.
Wow.
I can't see Luton conceding 3. Sorry, Man U conceding 3 against Luton because they've got Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
I thought, oh no, David's going to apply common sense to this, and he's going to make me second guess. As soon as you said Harry Maguire, I was like, oh wait, I can actually get this. But yeah. Yeah, it's great stuff.
Just
Great
for shits and giggles, because I read the bet wrong as you were reading it off. I thought you were sticking to the formula of correct score, first scorer, and then someone scoring 2 or more. If you put Fernandez in at scoring 2, the odds jump to $1,500 to 1. Now, if you add the 27 cents, I'm not really sure what that number figures out. Ian, you've been quick with the calculator.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't
do that either, but because I was
do it.
just like,
but I could
don't know.
confidently state if you did and it happened, you wouldn't need to go to work for the next 6 months. Not 6. No. Conservative. We'll say 3. Maybe. You might actually like your job, but you wouldn't want to stay away.
Tom, I think in this one, I could not with good conscience have Luton Town scoring first. Manchester United are totally the type to, if this was going to end 3-2, it would be 0-0 for 30 minutes or so. Manchester United would score between the 30th and 40th minute, and then they would calm down and nothing would happen. Second half, early Luton goal, another Luton goal. United tie it up, Luton take the win, is the way that I would find this 3-2. Just the way Manchester United are.
The way I could see this going is obviously Luton score first, Black score early. They have to come out and punch him in the mouth. They have to score early, first shot early, 1 shot, 1 goal kind of thing. Then it goes 2-1 to Manchester United, and then that's when Luton start hitting them with the kitchen sink.
Yeah, and this is a problem as well. You could lose money if United win. That's 2 bad things happening in the same way.
That's a bit saucy of you, Ian, because if I'd have gone with Man United to win 3-2, you would have been sitting again, you're picking Man United to win. What kind of Leeds fan are you? And he doesn't talk like that, but I'm just, I'm just predicting what would have been said. And I'm just like, give me a break, guys, man. I'm just sitting here with my duck, man. Just picking bets. All right? I'm just doing my best, y'all. No, that's fine. It's fine. But
we love it,
Tom.
Tom.
A great time.
I'm gonna take this just out of shits and giggles. I'm gonna take this one.
Yeah, I mean, you would.
Why not?
You're gonna be mad if it hits. I
mean, obviously, I'm gonna make a secondary bet based on starting lineup and
if Adebayo is playing,
right.
Congratulate the audience though on one thing.
I mean, you just never know, and it's $1 or a quid or whatever denomination you're using out there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a euro, maybe it's a kroner if you're in Iceland. I think they're still on the kroner, aren't they? They're not on the euro. I don't know.
I believe you're right.
Really
I'd like to thank our great audience for not asking me why I didn't pick a Leeds game this week. So
there you go.
They're learning.
That works. That's perfect.
So you guys get Preston for the 4th time in a month?
Plymouth as well.
I hope not.
Oh, Plymouth, not Preston. Plymouth for the 4th time in a month.
I was worried then, David. I was worried. I was like, we're going to play Preston again.
So let's get to it. Let's get to the Leeds United talk. Guys, you guys are on absolute fire right now. Not only are you undefeated in 2024, you've actually won every game. Is that correct?
9 out of 10, I believe. 1 draw.
But the draw was in the league. The was in the
league.
Was in the cup.
That was in the cup.
But in the league
against the aforementioned Plymouth.
In the league, you guys have won every single game in 2024. That is nothing to balk about, squawk about, talk about, fuck shit. I don't know. That's nothing to sneer at. It's a very good stat. Leeds United fans are all over my Twitter and Instagram and all of that. I've got a lot of Leeds United fans that I talk to and follow and all that. And it seems to be on a high note right now with the fan base. People bigging up Fark, saying his stats look better
Winning
than
football matches
Bielsa's
do that.
best stats
They
and
don't.
all that.
They
So,
don't.
Don't
so
compare.
how are you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling right now?
It's 10-point difference.
Of what?
Feeling 10 points stronger.
No, I mean, at the same stage, in the season we won the championship, we had 10 points less than we do now.
Oh.
But at
Now,
the same
was
time,
there somebody running away with
No.
it the way that Leicester are?
no, I think we were
No.
behind West Brom, I think, at the time. But again, the gap was a lot smaller. But then by the same respect, we're not trying to catch Leicester.
Yeah.
We're just trying to, now we're trying to get ahead of Southampton. But
Yeah.
we were just trying to stay in front of Southampton, like before 4 hours ago. But
Well, you're not trying to stay. I mean, you are where you are, and they had
Yeah.
that game in hand. So,
Yeah.
even if you win tomorrow, and I think you jump over them by a point, right?
Yeah.
If you win tomorrow morning, for us tomorrow morning, you jump over them by a point, but they got the game in hand. So you got to consider. I don't know for you guys, but anytime a team has a game on hand with my club, I consider that they have those 3 points. So yeah, you got to think right now. You guys are in third by a point, or by
still
two.
we'll go out
2
and get
points.
them.
High point.
But it doesn't matter. All you got to do is keep winning. Fuck
If
what
we
everybody
win-
else is doing.
If we win every game, we get promoted in second place. Full stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing Southampton
I-
can do
I-
about that.
I mean,
If we win every game,
yeah, I think that's a bit of a tall order. And one that obviously is possible, because as impressive as winning out through 2024 is the fact that you can throw 7 clean sheets on top of that. And I think that
Mark
to
with the
me
research.
is what makes that like super impressive. And I do believe that you could easily win out. And I think if anything's going to show us like the upcoming couple of weeks, I think you guys play like 5 matches in 10 days or something like that. It gets tight for you guys. I'm not exactly sure of the number, but
There's always something. Last year we had to play matches. We had to put 15-year-olds on the bench one year. This
Right.
year we've got loads of travelling, and then we've got 5 games. Ultimately it's just a privilege watching Leeds United. More so now than it is last year. Let's just say. But
yeah, you got 3 matches in 5 days, or 3 matches in 6 days, or something like that. The 2nd,
is
the
that
5th,
just
and the
Leeds
8th.
though, or is that the league in general?
Nope, that is straight up league. You get Chelsea the 5 days before, so it's 4 matches in 10 days. It's pretty intense, and if you guys can get through that in the manner that you have gotten through 2024,
Squad for it.
well, holy shit! Watch out, man! You guys are going to win the championship. Although that's quite a bit of ground to gain on.
I've said the whole way through this season is that, to me, if Leeds don't get automatic promotion, then it's a failure. Because
I do remember you
that's how
saying
I see it. They've got. I do think, okay, you've got Dewsbury Hall in Leicester, and he is a he's a class act. But the rest of the players, I don't see any of them that would get ahead of our players in our team. They would probably say the same of many of our players getting into their team. Watching Southampton earlier, they were helped through really poor defending from West Brom.
Honestly, I think they were helped by poor officiating.
Yeah, I didn't get that. What was that? What was
dreadful.
What was Coburn sent off for? Because we didn't have any. We didn't have any volume.
No, I can tell you what
no
happened.
idea.
I'll tell you exactly what happened. Basically, he stepped out of his technical area to stop the ball because he thought it went out of play. But it turns out the ball never went out of play. The ball was on the line the entire time. That meant he committed an offence, and the ref had no choice but to send him off, which it's massively rare, but apparently it's in the rules and it was enforced.
Yeah.
Wow.
That didn't help us because obviously then that strengthened the opponent, and obviously they had less. In my opinion, I only saw the first half, right? So I can't speak to the second half. In my opinion, West Brom, I know it's not a West Brom show, but they look like, without Corberan barking orders at them, they look like a group of people that were playing football together for the first time.
I would, on the whole game. I mean, Southampton deserved to win it. 2-0 was a fair score, but at times West Brom made Southampton look very ordinary, and Southampton were very lucky not to concede. At least one goal when they were only 1-0 up.
They were lucky with the handball.
Yeah. Was it hand? I mean, that's a hard decision for the referee to make, I thought, because it's gone at him very quick, and his hand wasn't that far away from his body, although he probably did move his hand to the ball, but very hard decision to make.
I don't think the ref could see it personally. From what I saw, the ref weren't in the best position to make that call. But ultimately,
unlike the referee when everybody was accusing Bamford of elbowing it in, and it didn't. I've seen an angle now where it's clear that it comes off his chest, and the referee was perfectly placed to see it. So, But anyway, it is what it is. I mean, Leeds. The way I see it, Leeds have got the best side. They're in the best form at the moment of the sides, and it did concern me a little bit the way Southampton bounced back from their poor display against City. Ipswich will keep on going, and they'll keep both sides honest. But I do think it's in Leeds' hands now, so we'll see.
Good night, Mo Master. Thanks, man. Good comment.
I feel with Leeds, if we don't go up this year, we won't go back up, if ever, for a long time. Literally, because we out of the three sides that got relegated, we were the one that had the most vultures circling, because Southampton sold 2 players and got 100 million quid, whereas we sold we ended up getting rid of what it feels like 20 players. It weren't, but it feels like it, and we got fuck all through the. I know that'll be a bit different next year because they will have to go for cash, but it won't be as much cash as they are actually worth. Whereas Southampton were getting above value money for their players still.
They also Southampton were a more established Premier club, so
that's true. That is true. Yeah. Obviously, they had players that they had nurtured, done well. I say nurtured. They held Lavia's registration for like a year, but generally, I suppose my point is we are in the situation where basically a lot of our players have put themselves in the shop window. So a lot of our players will be playing in the Premier League next year. It just depends on what shirt they're wearing.
Yeah,
right.
Somerville will be in a Crystal Palace shirt or a Leeds shirt next year, in my opinion, because he's exactly the
Crystal
sort of
Palace
player
could
they
be playing
for.
in the Championship next season.
I'll be very surprised if that's the case.
I think San Francisco or the 49ers not winning the Super Bowl is going to impact the spending that Leeds was expecting. I don't think you guys are going to get nearly the spending that you might have gotten had
what do you win
had the 49ers won it. I mean, that's mission accomplished for that organization, and they fell short. Well, they want to see if they can not fall short. So their spending is going to go toward re-signing players. They're gonna open the coffers for their own. At least for one more season. So I don't necessarily see.
Yeah, but the Rams won the Super Bowl And everybody was talking about Arsenal influx of cash, and it was like,
and you guys have spent like $500 million since they won the Super Bowl.
that's
I mean,
like
that's
what
an
you have
influx
to
of cash,
spend
my
just to be a.
friend.
That's not an
Look,
influx
I
of cash.
know, I
That's
know
what you
you're
spend. That's what you have to spend in the top, Mark.
But it's all got to be
It's a rich
done under
girl
profit and
problem. Rich girl
sustainability
problem.
anyway, isn't it?
That's why
It's
we
all
can't
under
buy
profit and
anybody right now.
sustainability. So
because you
My-
spent
my
it
only-
all.
My thing with
Mhm.
the parachute payments, right, is that it's easy for every team to complain about it, but it's only ever a problem when that team ages out of the 3-year parachute payment. Like, I'm sure it was perfectly fine when Cardiff had it for the first year. I'm sure it was amazing. I'm sure it was great when West Brom had it for the first year. But now that they're 4 years not back in the Premier League or whatever it'll end up being. No, they came up with us. But you get my point, is that when they hit 4 years and they're no longer getting 140 million a year, and I know it decreases on the sliding scale, but then it'll become, this needs to be looked at. It's like, yeah, it does need to be looked at.
yeah, but it was
we've
also
had- we
cut
had
as well,
more-
Tom. It was cut
Yeah.
this year, so it's not what it has been historically. This season,
You brought
it
them
was
into
drastic.
Mr. Brownlee.
It was drastically cut. You know, so all those teams, Leicester, Southampton, and Leeds, didn't get the sort of payments that teams did in previous years.
That's why the selling happened at the rate that it did, because teams had to account for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just,
It is what it is.
obviously, it is a massive disadvantage. But you got to look at it from my point of view, and obviously, I am Leeds United in this situation, of course, where
I'm gonna get a beer.
there was 10 years where I was watching teams get the parachute payment, and we camped in 17th place. Where like if we didn't happen to have Ross McCormack, Chris Wood, we always seem to find a player that would get 20 to 30 goals, and that'd keep us firmly in lower mid-table. So we'd have been back in League One if we weren't able to unearth a striker that and then sell them on for a profit. But while that was happening, we were watching Blackpool get parachute payment. We were watching Leicester get parachute payments. Even Wolves, when they came down, I know they went straight back down or all this, but the point is everyone was getting parachute payments while we're sitting here going, we're the fucking reason the parachute payment fucking exists, and we've not fucking seen 10 pence of it.
Right.
Because it comes from our financial mismanagement.
I'm going to be the ignorant one here. I'm not exactly sure what that means, parachute payment.
That's the payment that it's an allowance that you get from the Premier when you drop down from the Premier into the Football League, basically into the Championship. So you will get extra money, more than other teams in that division will get. And the reason you get it is because you've got players on Premier contracts.
Gotcha.
And and if you didn't get some money, then you'd
be at risk.
Teams would be going bankrupt every season.
Sure. Yeah. I get it. Okay, I get it.
Teams have generally most football contracts will consist of like a relegation clause, where like if you get relegated, that player's salary will be cut. And part of the reason Leicester had to sell a lot of their like Maddison and Barnes and all that instantly went was because Leicester were in such a strong position in the Premier League that they were signing players to contracts that never had the salary cuts, because it never dawned on them that they would actually get relegated. Whereas obviously Leeds had this put in, but then we stupidly put in if you get relegated, you can go on loan to another team instantly, and we get nothing. Victor Orta, personal hero of mine, actually invented a contract clause, in my opinion, that will ruin football.
What's that?
There'll be Luton players, and I bet anyone that's Sheffield United and Burnley signed this summer would have had their ear to the wall and going, what Leeds are offering? They're offering what? You mean if I go back down again, I can fuck off instantly if I can find another club? Mental. I'd never heard of it before. Had you heard of that, David?
Wait,
Like, I know you usually get a permanent transfer, but I mean the actual loan aspect of it.
No. I think, maybe it was they were just thinking, well, if we get them off of the wage structure, then it's going to help, And what I will say is that players that he signed, Rutter, Nonto, Somerville, he signed, all youngsters with the prospect of becoming good players. So from that sort of side, if you look at those sort of players, then he wasn't far off the mark. Unfortunately, it was his management of bringing in transfers that could sustain the here and now, and it just didn't work. But there you go. We are where we are.
The timing was wrong. In my opinion, the timing of the sackings were all wrong at every step of the way. Don't buy the players that Jesse Marsh wants brought in if you're going to sack him at the earliest possible time where you can't.
Yeah, no
really
shit.
do anything to fix it.
That made no sense to me.
Same with, again, I've mentioned this before. Don't bring in Sam Allardyce when he's got a 1 in 5 win rate in the Premier League, but give him 4 games. Like, that's madness. Like, that's not even my opinion. That's factually madness because he's going to lose 4 games. I didn't lose 4. He drew 1, but which we should have fucking won. But anyway, but pardon my language. Sorry, get a bit hyped. Anyway, I have a tendency to do that. Love my football club. But anyway, so
we'll get promoted this year. But I want it through automatic. And if it's not through automatic, to me, it's still a failure, even if we still get promoted.
Right. And it's 3 through 6? Is it duke it out?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you guys go I think that the league goes 7 teams that are kind of still in it for the top or the 4 through 3 through 6.
The way the championship works, you can the team that's in 15th can still get promoted. Because you only need to go on if in the week where you play Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, you can get 9 points in 8 days, and that takes you at least a third of the way up the table in a week.
Wow.
I mean, I know that's not likely, with that team being down in the first place, but point is,
I've only been paying attention to the top wherever Leeds is really where all I care about as far as the championship table.
I'm absolutely sure David's the same. In that 3 years we were in the Premier League, the only championship matches I tended to watch were the championship playoff final. But generally speaking, I know he's a well-read gentleman, but I'm sorry, David, go on.
I watched quite a few Luton games because my mate's a Luton fan. So, that was whoever they were playing. But yeah, I didn't really watch a lot. I might watch some other lower league, lower division games here and there.
But
yeah, I enjoyed the Premier, even though we were getting hammered. And I have to say, I am hating it in the Championship. I'm hating it. I've been to quite a few games this season. Oh my God, the opponents! It's like playing pub sides. The standard is horrendous. It's shocking.
There are things that happen. Oh, sorry, go on. Sorry, that's rude of me. Sorry. There are things that I see though, which do worry me if we did get promoted because we're nowhere near clinical enough.
Again, it's Leeds fans running away with themselves, and the same with Leicester and Southampton. Those sides are going to struggle when they go back up. All need big investment, especially Leeds. Especially Leeds. We couldn't go up and play that football. What we're playing at the moment.
I love watching
we will get hammered.
Football. I love watching him play football, but if he played to the standard in the Premier League, because he walks through defences in the Championship, I can't deny that he does. But then when he's actually in front of goal, I'm not confident he's going to score. And in the Premier League, you don't get that many chances.
How they carve through sides in the Championship, Somerville and Nonto, they're not going to be able to do that in the Premier.
Well,
It's
they're
that
still
simple.
young though. Those three players are still young enough that they can, if they were on a side that they could start for consistently in the Premier League, like I could see all three of those guys having good careers. And
Yeah.
Reuter,
Individually, yes.
yeah, individually, yeah, going on. I see
Not as a trio.
Reuter. What are you, Jorginho?
Yeah, yeah.
I see him as a potential Ivan Toney type that is strong enough to hold the ball, but is very good on the ball and can get past people. But you're right; his finishing needs to be clinical, and it's just
I
not.
laughed at the
right
Ivan Toney comparison because Ivan
he's
Toney
better.
knows where the goal is.
Yeah, but
that's why I was saying
players.
all the
They're
way up
different
until
players.
there. But to me, he seems. I don't know. I've really liked watching him recently because he seems like he's pretty strong on the ball.
Watching him. I'm not saying it's like it's not. It's something I want him to improve on because I want him to stay in the team.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, it will quickly become apparent in the Premier League.
Yeah.
When you're at the ground watching them live, when he gets the ball, you can just feel the whole stadium. There's like a laughter starts because of what he's doing, and people just don't believe what they're seeing because of what he's doing to these opponents. And he's so gangly, and it looks awkward. But he's coming away with the ball and everything, and he does it with such ease, and it's just it's a joy to watch. It's a joy to watch. And yes, those players, if they went like into an Arsenal, none of them would be regular starters in any Premier side.
Right.
But if they were brought on, in the likes of a team like Arsenal, somebody like that, they could be brought on there. But what I'm just saying at the moment, I think the Leeds fans are getting a little bit carried away this season. We've won a few games. We should have won a lot more games. If we had not dropped so many points as we did in December, then we'd be maybe 4 or 5 points clear in second place. And so I'm quite a hard taskmaster. I mean, I like Fark. He's proven at this level. But whilst he takes the plaudits when they're winning, he's also got to take some of the responsibility when they weren't winning. I think he's doing a good job. I think he'll get them promoted. But it needs to be automatic for me for it to not be a failure because they are that good. They should go up second automatic.
Right.
That's just the way I feel.
We pay a lot. I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
What I see, can I just address something that Brownie did say a minute ago or so, and it won't take long, I promise. About the team finishing sixth. Yeah, this is true. This was a pattern that I noticed, but the reason I think it'll be different this season, not just because it'll suit me, because it might be Leeds, it's because usually the team that finishes third is usually a distant between fourth and. So that team that's third, like in the Bielsa season, we were confirmed as a playoff team long before the season ended, but we were also then had that crushing disappointment of not getting promoted, but also not on the final day, really, because of the goal difference and stuff. So then he started resting players. Problem is, when you rest players, you then lose the cohesiveness in your team. Whereas what I think is likely to actually happen is whoever finishes third is going to be in a battle all through to the end, basically, because the three teams are so dominant over the others. So I think what will happen is you're still going to have team cohesiveness because we're going to be playing our first team until game 46. And then you'll be ready to go for the playoffs.
You're not just going to have one side in the playoffs who has been there all season and failing. You're going to have two. because
Yeah.
Ipswich will be there. Ipswich will, even if they do drop a few more points, which they're, it's likely they will do the way they've been playing the last few games, but they will still be there or thereabouts. So they will fancy their chances. So it's going to be a very hard year for sides who are other than, say, Ipswich, Leeds, or Southampton, the other two teams in the playoffs. If they win it and get promoted, well done. Because they're going to have to beat an Ipswich and a Southampton, or an Ipswich and a Leeds, or whatever combination. That's what they're going to have to do. But anyway, we're a long way from there yet.
Yeah. Well, guys, this has been
a team that finished third though.
This has been a lot of fun. We are just at the end of the show now, but Mr. Tom, tell us about what shows are you going to be on this week? Where can we find you?
All right, let me unroll my scroll of shows now. All right, cut a long story short, I'll probably gonna be hosting Gary's show on his behalf tomorrow. We do like the live football scores as they come in. Then I'm going to be doing a wrestling watch along tomorrow night at midnight in the UK. Then on Sunday will be We All Love Leeds. I think I might take Monday off to go to work instead. Then I think Tuesday. Let me see, what have I got booked in for Tuesday? No, seriously.
Jesus.
But yeah.
Busy, man.
He's got to pay the electric bill,
Yeah, I guess so. All right, well, Dave, thank you for joining us. Thank you for calling us in.
Been a pleasure.
Calling in from Manhattan.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah,
great fun.
Great to see you.
Great fun.
And thank you, Mark. Don't forget to join us next week for Happy Hour. We'll be back here, and I hope all of your teams. Actually, I hope all your teams win. At least those of you who are on screen with me today. But for a lot of other Premier League fans, I hope your teams lose. Sorry. Come on, you Gunners. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and we will see you all next week. Good night, everybody.
Cheers.